All right. Nope, we're live. All right. Awesome. I'm trying to get my tablet set up. I've already been throwing, so I thought, well, since I'm down here throwing, I might as well get you guys on board here and just go ahead and start a live. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. All right. Let me put something in here. Give. A. Okay. Well, we can still do this. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Like I said, I was already throwing. So I decided since I'm already throwing, I might as well just start a live. I'm down here anyhow. So here we are. How y'all doing tonight? I just got this one done. And that's why I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go live. Might as well, right? And I could use the watch hours anyhow. Hey, Zach. You're from France. Oh, very cool, man. Very cool. Glad to see you're in here. I don't think you've been in here before, have you? Well, brother from France, if you like this kind of content or you think you will, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much appreciated for sure. You're new. Awesome. Lorenzo, how you doing there? Roberta, was it Roberto? Spanish. So I'm not understanding that one. Zephyr Gaming from Canada. Hey, great to see you in here from Canada. That's awesome. There we go. Great to see y'all in here, man. Look at that. There's the first piece. I think it's a pretty cool looking piece. I'm going to try something a little bit new tonight too. I need to make a bunch of handles. And typically I pull my handles. But I thought, you know, I could probably do the handles on the wheel and just cut them in separate lengths, attach them to the mug, and then pull them from there. So I'll probably try that. You love art. Okay, awesome. Have you heard of Fresh Cup of Joel? He's from Canada. And he's been He's been making pots. He's been recording his process of learning how to throw and just learn pottery. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to watch him. Good to see you in here, guys. Lorenzo, Roberto, and Zach. Great to see you guys in here. Love it. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you would. Trying to get this channel to grow. Yeah. What type of clay? It's a stoneware clay. It fires to 2,300 degrees Fahrenheit, of course. But yeah, it's a stoneware clay. This clay has quite a bit of grog in it. It's like a sandy type substance that will give your pot more strength. I make a lot of mugs and dinnerware, ovenware. Like some of the pieces back here is for oven, make pies and stuff. So all my stuff is usable, meant to be used. So right now I'm doing is I'm coning up the clay. This allows the clay to get put into a spiral, and the clay platelets look like just imagine it's like a flat piece like this. So what I'm trying to do with the clay platelets is to get them to lay like this, but in a spiral. So it gets them all laying in the same direction. Do you have a website for purchase? Yes. If you look at muirheadpottery.com, that is my website. It should be in the description of my channel as well. I'm still adding stuff to it, so there may not be as many pieces on there right now, but I'm still adding. I've got 100 pieces or more to add to my website. And between my wife and I, we're working on getting that done. If you guys are interested, since you're all new, I can show you what I have right now that's ready to go on the website. If you're interested, I could give you a little tour. There we go. You like that, Zach? All right. Let me get this piece going here, and then we'll grab the camera, and I'll give you a little tour of what I have. That's going to be going on the website here soon. Of course, there's pieces behind me. You may not be able to see that well. They're going to be going on the website as well. But I'll let you take a look at all that stuff. You're welcome. Got to keep it wet. This one here got a little wobbly on me. It's all right. We'll tame it down a little bit. All right, now we're going to put the shape in it. Just like that. And then when it dries a little bit more, I'll end up putting a handle on that. I'm going to shape the bottom here a little bit. Clean it up so it looks all nice. There we go. I got water on the inside I have to get out. If I leave the water in there, it'll end up drying very slowly, and the rest of the piece will dry fast. And then it will end up cracking on you. So that's why we got to get the water out of it. There we go. How long have you been making pottery? I have been making pottery for 20 years, actually, since 2004. So it's been a long time. Let me get the water out of the inside. And then we'll take a little walk around my basement studio. There we go. Got the water out of the inside. And now I got to clean my hands off a little bit. I got to make them dry. Now bring my bat over. Take my wire. Cut off from the bottom. Dry hands. Pick it right up off the wheel. Just like that. Ta-da. All right, guys, let's take a walk. I'll show you some of the pieces I've done so far, since a lot of you are new here, which is cool. I love having new people here. Okay, let me unhook this in a minute. You might get a little wiggle. There we go. So here's some pieces here that I've done. That is a mint color. There's a blue, cobalt blue and white mug. There's a nice bowl with cobalt blue and white. There's a big pie plate back there, pie pan. Another pie dish here. And they're quite big. You can see my hand. It's quite big. Thank you. Thank you. Here's some more pieces. Here's another nice piece, one of my mugs. You can see the way the glaze kind of runs. Pretty cool the way it's shaped and the way it runs. This here, I don't know if you guys ever seen one of these. It's what you call a butter bell. You put your butter on the inside. Well, I can't with both my hands here. Hang on. So you put your butter in here, and you put water in here. And then when you turn this upside down, you have a watertight seal, and your butter will stay fresh on the counter. And you'll always have soft butter. So here's a couple more of my mugs. This is some cobalt blue again. Another nice dish. You see that blue? Some of these are dusty. And let's walk around. So here's a little burner. You put your liquid in here, and there'd be a wick in here so you can light it and keep the bugs away, or you can put like some kind of a scented liquid in there to burn. Very cool. Some little glasses here that are pretty cool the way it turned out. It's really neat. Here's a couple of my blue piece here. Nice pie dish. And I got a couple more pieces laying around here. Get around the table. So yeah, here's some dishes here. There's some bowls. They're a pretty cool looking bowl. But yeah, nice bowls. Let's see. Oh, here's a pie plate. There's a big pie plate. This is pretty thick. So one of the pie plates I did. There's one of the burners I did. And these things here, I have a liquid in here. Just like that. So that's what all these are right here. That's what all those are. They're just like that one. They're pretty cool. All right. And I have all this stuff over here, which is pretty cool. So lots and lots of stuff here. There's another one of those burners with bowls. There's that mint color again. I've got some blue stuff up here. I've got some green stuff down here. It's like a bluish green. And then here's stuff that's just kind of like a mild, kind of old-fashioned type of thing where it's like a white and a tan. So got some stuff there. I even have red. I even have red. There's my Venmo. Let's go in the kiln room. If you guys know what a kiln is, here's my kiln. And this is where I fire all of my pieces. Okay? You can see it's electronic controlled. And here's pieces right now that I have to bisque fire. So I'm still loading my kiln. Yeah, hot, don't touch. You're right. These things can get super, super hot. There's an old kiln that I have. And here's some more stuff right here that has to go in this big kiln. So yeah, there's just some kiln shelves and stuff like that that I use to load that with. So that's my kiln right there. Pretty nice one. So yeah, plus I have some stuff over here that's bisque fired. So here we go. Here's a dolphin. A dolphin wine glass. I have to put glaze on it. All right. But pretty cool. Pretty cool. I got several of those to do. There's a couple of pieces that they get bisque fired and then they get glazed. And then after they get glazed, then they go into the kiln and get fired again. So they get fired twice. So yeah, I'm in my basement. So this is a fun place to be. I'd rather be somewhere where I could see outside, but this is where I do all my clay stuff that I have to redo. I reuse all my clay. And of course I have my sink over there. And here's where I do all my wheel throwing and stuff. So I got a clay boss, works really well. Got another wheel over there. You can see I'm getting stuff stacked up here, and I got to get some handles put on these pieces, and then I'll be ready to fire again. So let's get back to the wheel. We'll get you guys hooked up here. Let me get this phone in here. All right. Hopefully that looks all right. I'll have to check. It might have moved a little bit. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Let's move it this way a little bit. Hopefully that helps give you a better view. Do I make large bowls for making rolls? Yes, I do. I do make large bowls. I make very large mixing bowls. You know what? I don't have any of those down here to show you. Love the burners. Cool. Hey, how you doing, Adirondack? That's awesome, Zach. That's great to hear. Yeah, I'll be adding more stuff to the website too. So if you don't find anything just yet, check back, okay? As a matter of fact, if you, I think if you sign up for the email list, you get emailed when I add extra stuff to the store. So that way you'll know when they come online. You know what I mean? So you'd be like one of the first to know when I place new stuff. Cool. Very cool. All right, let's get back to it. So I'm glad you all like that tour. Yeah, I have probably 20 some mugs here I'm doing right now. And I'm going to have to do a lot of handles. So Adirondack, were you saying about it was like 3 inches in diameter and 12 inches tall or something like that? Taking a break from the studio. Let's see, to make dinner, getting some things. Oh, cool. Very cool. I thought about trying your experiment to see how tall to get it. Because I'm not sure how tall I can get it. It'd be interesting. I could see how tall I can get. I do have plenty of clay mixed up here. Let me try it. 3 pounds of clay. There's 3 pounds. I'm going to try to wedge this a little bit more to get any kind of air pockets out of there. I certainly don't want them to start getting air pockets when I get the clay too thin. What will I make? Well, I'm going to try seeing how tall I can make 3 pounds of powder or 3 pounds of clay, see how tall I can make it. And then from that point, I'll probably try to turn it into something. But right now, I got to wedge the clay. Okay, that should be good right there. Oh yeah, I got you. That's a good bit of clay. All right, let's try that. A bit over 12. All right, let's try this and see how well I can get this. Just depends if I ever find an air pocket in here. You know how that goes. Get an air pocket and it could go real bad, real fast. So roughly 3 inches, you said. All right. We'll get this started in on a while. And we'll start pulling up a little bit. Make sure it's wet enough. Oop. Yeah, it started to get dry. That's not good. I'm right in the middle of a pool. All right, I need to bring this in. I already feel a little air bubble. This clay, it's all reclaimed, so it's been quite a pain in the neck for me. Where is it? I don't know. It's in there somewhere. All right. Hope everybody's having a good evening tonight. I want to thank you for joining me. So I'm way over 3 inches. I know that. Yeah. If you said you were about 3 inches, that's about that much. So yeah, I'm about 3 inches on the inside. So I need to bring this in a lot more. Let's just cup it in now because I have the thickness to work with. The say highs that pop up. Yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they? And I don't know if YouTube just added those or what, you know? All right, so that's probably getting closer to 3 inches. Yeah, so that's a lot closer to 3 inches right here. So let me get my hand in here. And then you know what? I'm going to use a sponge. It's a lot more clay than what a mug is, and so using my fingers, it's not gonna work very good for me. So I'm just going to use the sponge. That way I can kind of keep things moving. hopefully. Try to keep a little bit of the extra clay up top. I think that's my favorite warble. Came from was stuck my hand inside collar. Yeah, yeah. How about that? It happens for sure. I'm losing clay each time I pull up too. But there's still plenty of clay in here. So I'm hoping I can get this collared up. Get it slowly brought up. The hard part is at 3 inches because my hand is wider than 3 inches. I don't know how tall that is yet. I still have more clay to bring up though. I can still feel it in there. Sabrina, how you doing? Zach is new in here. He's just joined us tonight. I'm doing great, by the way. The final color is what gave me a bit of the height at the end. Yeah. And I think so my 3, yeah, I can come in a little bit more actually. The problem is my hand is so much wider than the piece. I'm gonna try collaring it in again. Getting sticky. Come on up. I'll probably have to bring it in even more. Well, all that's going to do is add more clay. That's closer to 3 inches. Yeah, that's a lot closer to 3 inches. Stay in the center. Right, yeah. So right now, where am I at? I'm at 9 3/4 of an inch. Let's see. Were you 3 inches on the outside or the inside? It's going to be hard getting my hand in this thing. I might not be able to shrink that in with my hand the way it is. See if I can get this a little bit taller. You know what? I'm going to start using my rib. I'm afraid it's getting too thin right here. I might have to try this again. I think I'm getting a little thin up here. But I'm going to try a rib and see if I can't get a little bit more out of this thing. All right, I got to bring it in some. I got to try to collar this if I can. It's still too thick. It's definitely a hard one to do because of the hand and getting your hand down in there. Because I still have clay to bring up. That's awesome, Sunset. Good to see you in here. All right, let's try this again. Definitely trying to bring it in as much as I can. But every time you put your hand in there, it stretches right back out again. So it's actually quite a challenge to get that 3-inch mark on the outside. It gained a little bit of height, but not a whole lot. Yeah, we're at 10 inches. I just feel like there's more that I can get. Yeah, there's definitely more to bring up. If I can get it to come up. Which is coming slowly. But here's a problem I run into. Is because my hand is so big, now I'm trying to bring that clay up to this point. I need to bring the clay up the walls. Yeah, because when the walls are thin, I feel like it moves with my fingers instead of fingers moving. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Getting my hand to the bottom is the problem because you're pushing the clay out and you're coming up, you're bringing it in. It's almost too narrow to really be able to do that. I mean, I'm actually less than 3 inches right there. So I could probably bring it out a little bit. It's still about 10 and a half though. You can see how big it gets because my hand is in the inside. And then right there is where I have the problem. I feel like I could get a lot more out of this piece though. I really do. I'm afraid now I'm getting it too wet. It's going to collapse on me. So I think there is a point where it just wants to just drop because you're working too much. All right, I'm going to call that good for now. There's definitely more clay in there to be had. But this clay is getting so wet that it just, what I'm having is my hands so wide. I grab the clay out of the bottom and start to bring it up. And then I got this mass up here that I'm bringing that clay into, and then I got to shrink that too. It's just a real problem to get it that narrow. Your cylinder didn't end up straight. It had a taper at the top because my hand probably. Okay, yeah. I mean, this is fairly straight. And I've got 3 inches there. I mean, it's a little tight there. A little bit tight there. Bottom, I got 3 inches. So I just can't get, it wants to collapse on me right now. So it's getting very, very, very wet. I can cut it off and see what else I can do here. Let's cut it off here. There we go. There's just way too much clay in there yet. I could get this a lot taller, I think. Where did I put that other clay at? And we'll put you here for now. I feel like I can definitely get more height out of this. It's just, it was a lot of clay to work with, and the diameter on the inside is very tough. You get some of the water out of this thing. Hey, Anad, how you doing there, brother? You having a good day? Thank you for stopping in. You're probably getting ready to go live soon. All right. Let's see what I can do with this. This here has got a lot of thickness to it yet. This not first. 8:30 Indian time. All right. We'll release that a little bit. I think what I need to do is bring it out a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to make this into a we're going to make this into a beer stein. How's that? No sense wasting it, huh? Well, it's never a waste. I'm just going to reclaim it anyhow, probably, but I'm going to make it into a beer stein. Like a Pilsner. I think it's called a Pilsner beer stein. It's already kind of got that shape anyhow. Anand is live at 8:30 p.m. Indian time. Anand is another potter in India. Does really great work. Really good potter. You get a chance, stop over and say hi. Tell him Muirhead Pottery sent you. There we go. Now I want to do some shaping. I kind of like to keep the throwing lines on there. I just think it adds a lot to the piece, you know? And it kind of feels good in your hands too. How much clay do you think what did it say? I can't scroll up. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep the throwing lines on there. How much clay do you think you took off the top? I don't know. I don't know how much that was. I could weigh it actually. When I was losing clay too, when I was bringing it up, I noticed. I would like to put one of these down here and do this. There we go. Just like that. How's that look? Kind of like that. There we go. I kind of like that. I'm going to bring the top in though. I do too. I love the throwing lines. Now, a Pilsner, I think, goes out like this and then in slightly. And now I'm going around the top. You know, I kind of like that shape though. I do kind of like that shape. That's going to actually feel pretty good in the hands too. That's not going to need any handle. We're going to keep this one. But I could probably weigh, let me weigh at least what I took off. I know I did lose some clay in the process. Yeah, half a pound. You're pretty good there, Adirondack. Half a pound of clay I took off. I'm not sure what this guy weighs, but I can try to weigh him here in a minute. Let me get my hands clean. And we'll give him a weigh and see what he is. All right. Yeah, full slip that time. So this, I probably should weigh it, you know, or I got about 7 1/4 inches tall. At the very top, it's 4 inches across, 3 inches at the bottom. So let me write this down because I'm going to remake this thing. And we're going to weigh how much clay it is just so I can record it. You know, it's something how you kind of you start out with doing something and then you make a shape that you kind of like. Then you kind of want to keep it. So it's always good to record your work. So I just have to trace out kind of what I did. When the shape comes out like this, it comes in. Okay. And I said that was, I forget already, ADD. ADD. Hey, Jane, how you doing there? Yeah, 7 1/4. Thank you. I think it's what we call a Pilsner shaped, you know, like a beer stein type of thing. I think that's what they call that shape. I didn't just make it up. I mean, it was something that was in my head that I wanted to try anyhow. Pilsner. I have 7 1/4 inches tall. I said I had 4 inches up top, I think. Yeah, 4 inches up top. I have 3 inches down below in diameter. There we go. And let's get the weight. Let's see how much this baby weighs. You taking notes, Adirondack? Maybe you make some of these. I actually could probably thin this out more, I think, to be honest with you. .8. 1.8 pounds. He's too heavy. So I definitely have to take more clay out of it. I don't think I need 1.8 pounds. Let's try 1.5 pounds. I think 1.5 pounds, I think I can still get this. So let's try that. Anybody out there watching, you're probably saying, what the heck's this guy doing? But when you're making pottery, you know, sometimes when you're doing like it's just trying something, you end up making a different shape and you kind of like it. So you just, this is a recording. So this is, I'm recording what I'm doing. That way I can hopefully make this again. It's a little bit thicker than what I want. It's 1.8 pounds. I don't think I need 1.8 pounds of clay. So how you doing tonight, Jane? And thank you for your compliment, by the way. Now I got to get this guy off of here. This is what I was making. And then I kind of got distracted. All right. Yeah, he's too heavy. We got to take weight out of him. And it's not because of the bottom either. I trimmed out quite a bit off the bottom. But there's what I started making these tonight because I have several of these already made. But I started messing around and seeing how high I could throw a piece, and then this kind of came out of that. So I'm actually glad that I tried that. Thank you, Adirondack. Always an inspiration, right? That's right, brother. That's what you did. You helped me out. But I think I can do this with 1.5 pounds of clay. So let's just give it a shot. But boom, right there it is. 1.5 pounds of clay. I couldn't have got more perfect if I'd asked for it. All right. Let's see if I can make another one of them. Hopefully I can. I'm going to try to wedge this a little bit. Little pieces of clay are so hard to wedge. See, that was not wasted time at all. All right, let's give her a shot. I will try that again, Adirondack, to see if I can see how high I can pull a piece. I gotta say, at 3 inches, it's difficult. I don't think the height is the problem. It's the 3 inches. Because getting your hand inside a tube like that with a thin wall, that's just kind of tough to do, I think. Especially since I haven't done anything like that before. So I'm 5'4", and that was when I was 16. I got a little bit taller. A little. Like to hear. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it. Hey, Gail, how you doing there, girl? Good to see you in here. I'll have you know that last night's video, or my live video last night, I have nearly 3,000 people that viewed that video, according to what my thing says. Did they stay for a while? Probably not. But that's what it told me. I was like, that's pretty incredible. I think the most I've ever had was probably 5.5 thou. Yeah, I thought it was great too. Hey, Cynthia, how you doing there? I see you just jumped in there. I'm going to make a Pilsner beer stein. I just made one, and I think it's too heavy. So it's at 1.8 pounds. I'm going to use 1.5 pounds of clay and see if I can get it to where I want it to be with just the 1.5 pounds. It just felt too heavy for me. I just don't. I like the shape. The shape turned out really well. So, yes, just got done with your early Father's Day with your early Father's Day celebration. That's cool. I'll tell you, my nose has not stopped running all day. It's crazy. All right. Let's give it a start. Bring it in a little bit. All right. I think I already have my height. And it doesn't feel that heavy right now. I mean, it feels like the walls are a pretty good thickness right now. All right. So I'm at 7 inches. All right. Which is not bad because the other one was 7.25. Yeah, it's definitely a good thickness right now. Let's get the bottom shaped out. Isn't that something? It's almost like the weight of clay keeps the walls from being pulled up without some kind of precision. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's all right. So make the bottom in a little bit. And then I want to do my little shape down here. And now I can start shaping the rest of it. Let's bring it out a little bit. Like that. And before I close in the top, where'd my sponge go? There it is. Get what little bit of clay or a little bit of water that's left in the bottom, get it out. A little bit in there. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay, so I got the bottom. Let's finish off the foot. Because with all this weight up here, with your liquid in it and stuff, if I have a little bit more weight down here, I think it'll actually help balance a little bit. And there's really actually not a lot of clay at the bottom. It just kind of looks that way. And I said that was what, 3 inches, which I think this was set to 3 inches if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's 3 inches. And that's a little shy. We have about 2 3/4 there. And which is not bad. I want to bring the top in a little bit. Let me put some throwing marks in there. I'm going to bring this in a little bit. Just like that. There we go. Isn't it something that's going to pull it up? Also have precision. Is it 3 pound? I mean, yeah, exactly. And Adirondack. Mohammed, how you doing? Good to see you in here. I just seen a nod. He just dropped in. A nod is going live at 8:30. Let's see. Do you bring the lip in a little bit to more pleasant to drink from? I do. That's exactly why. At least this a Pilsner shape does come in a little bit anyhow. That's the whole idea, as it comes in. I think it's because of the head of the beer and the way they want the glass to shape. So I think that has more to play with the beer and how it's poured and all that good stuff. I don't drink beer, so I you know, but I think that's probably why. I do like the shape. I think the base should be a little bit wider, so I probably should have kept it 3 inches. However, I've got 7.5 inches. So if I would have dropped that just a tiny bit and made this 3 inches down here, I think 1.5 pounds of clay is probably perfect for this. The walls aren't very thick. The base is not very thick. It should be a pretty light piece, but let's weigh it. Okay, let's weigh the end result and see what we have. I gotta change my water here soon. It is not getting my hands clean at all. It's more like a slurry. Yeah, I gotta change it. All right. So I might make a bunch of these because I actually really like this shape. I like the throwing lines. I think the base should be maybe a little bit bigger, but I don't know. You know, I might end up making the base a little bit wider to get to close to 3 inches, since this is like 4 inches. Yeah, this is 4 inches up top. So I think that's what I'll do. So the top is then 1 inch larger in diameter than the bottom. I think is what I want to do. So let's just weigh it and let's see what we got. Since the other one was 1.8. And that's something I really hear when I do see where is functionality. Yeah. Well, that's just it, Adirondack. You really have to think about how it feels on the lips, how it feels weight-wise. When you tilt the glass or where you put your handle on your cup, you want to have that balanced correctly. So there's a lot of that going on that you have to think about. At least that's what I do. I think about those things a lot. And even like where you put your lips, you don't want a big round edge. If you ever made a teapot, getting that spout correct so it doesn't drip is a cool thing. You kind of want a sharp edge without it being sharp. Okay, that will cut the liquid off. And so your drinking vessel is kind of the same way. I'll draw it here how I like to do my drinking vessels, the edge on them. And I think it works really well. So I'll show it with you. You can choose whether you'd like to try it or not. That's up to you. Oh, that's a lot lighter. Wow, guys. Okay, so the last one. The last one is this one. Now, I told you this felt heavy, which it is very heavy at 1.8 pounds. This one, which is a little bit taller, is 1.2. Well, almost 1.3 pounds. Okay? So there's a big difference. Very big difference. Matter of fact, I should have kept that up here so I could put my piece on there. Leah, how you doing there, girl? Sharp without being sharp. Muirhead, best advice I've heard in a while. It sounds stupid, doesn't it? But it's kind of the truth. It's there you go. There they are next to each other. Okay. 1.8, 1.3. So the walls on this are a lot thinner. I knew this was heavy. The walls felt a little bit thicker. And Yeah. And to be honest with you, I like this one better. And I do like the throwing lines. I just like that. When you grab a hold of the piece, your fingers kind of fall in those lines. £1.5. I get out my handy dandy notebook because Gail, I did write this down. 1.5 pounds. And it was 7 1/4 high. 3 at the bottom. I'm keeping 3 at the bottom. It's 4 at the top. So that works out great. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I thought that was pretty nice at 1.5 pounds. It worked out rather well. Gail will be proud. She will be proud. She's here. She says, I'm impressed. Oh, let me draw this out for you here, Bubba. So hopefully I can get this correct for you. I'll draw this for you. So when it comes to the shape, this is the outside, and you're putting your mouth over this. You kind of want this point. This should be just a slight point right here, and it should be soft to your fingers, right? But you just want it to have a spot for liquid to be cut off right there. Okay, so the remainder comes back in your piece. And you want this right here to be rounded, okay? I tend to, let me see if I draw it again. So I want it to be rounded, but I want this to kind of be more at a point up in here. Just for the liquid so it doesn't dribble when you try to drink out of it. But you're going to have to try different shapes yourself and just experiment and see what works for you. When you start drinking out of them, you're going to figure that if you have a big, round, fat lip, it's going to be actually harder to drink out of. At least I find it hard to drink out of. Maybe if somebody has big lips, maybe it won't matter. I don't know. That's just funny. All right. Let's see. Okay. That's good. You're jotting everything down. I've got to get back to Ryan. It's his birthday, but hope to see you again soon. Love you, Uncle. Thank you, Leah. And tell Ryan I said happy birthday. Okay? Well, that's you know what? It's hard for me to explain, but that's kind of what I think of when I think of the edge. I tell you what, I have a tool here, and it actually helps to do those kind of things. But it's one of these, and this actually can help you do that edge. Or this one here helps. But I've used this tool several times and it works great, but I don't use it anymore. But that's, you kind of want a sharper shape in there. I don't know how to explain it to you. Doggone it. I just don't know how to explain it to you. Anyhow, give it a shot, Adirondack, and just keep experimenting, do different shapes, try them out, see how you like them. Because to be quite honest with you, everybody's a little different, you know? Lips. Oh, man. All right. All right. Let's put this one in half. I have two there. That one that's too heavy, I'm not keeping it. I'll end up putting that back. Perfect. Perfect. All right. All right. Yeah, see? Couldn't be any more perfect than that. Just take a little bit. Yeah. A little bit. All right. Perfect. All right. S'more popsicle handle s'more. All right. We got 3 more to make. I'm going to give them a shot. I did make a heck of a lot of mugs. I got to put handles on them. And I'm going to try something different with handles. Is I'm going to throw my handles on the wheel. And then I think what I'm going to do is cut them in smaller sections to where I can pull. Once I put the handle on the mug, I can pull it then from there and attach. I'm going to try that and see what happens. All right. Let's give this a shot. Yeah, handle is another thing to practice with and try to get a good shape that feels good in your hands. Okay. Not everybody is going to like the same handle, to be quite honest with you. So just make it so it makes you happy to hold it. Okay. Because I guarantee you're not going to make everybody happy with your piece. I really should get some more water. Throwing handles, I got as far as hand building because it's not standing there pulling clay forever. Yeah. Well, I thought I'd try it, So let me make these pieces. And I'm going to try doing the handles just by throwing them. They'll have to dry overnight because, of course, they'll be too wet. All right. Perfect. All right. And I used to, well, and I still do. I still do my handles the traditional way. I still pull them a lot, but I want to try this other method just to kind of get an idea if I'm going to like it or not, see if it'll work. All right, we're going to keep this at 3 inches down here. I got to tell you, my lives have been very consistent with at least 10 people. It seems like it, which is very cool, and I'm very appreciative of all you people sticking around and watching me, or even just listening to my live. I want to thank you. I really appreciate it because it helps my viewing hours. I don't know if you guys heard, but I want to try to get to at least 500 so I can add my store to YouTube as well. I just think it would be beneficial to have another place for people to find my pottery. So I'm going to try to work for that at least. And after that, I don't care how many people YouTube decides to send my way. All right, so I think the bottom is pretty close to what I want. I'm going to check it though. Yeah, 3 inches. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, let's get our shape. I want to do my little thing down here. Then start bringing this shape up. And I'm not really trying to bring any more clay up at this point. I'm just trying to add a shape to this at this point. Now I do like to have throwing lines in there. A little more than what's there. A little bit of water down there. Good. Not too bad. Get a little bit more out. Perfect. All right. There we go. There we go. What do I have here? Oh, perfect. Perfect. That's exactly the same as the other one. I'm going to change this a little bit here. A little bit more up. It goes just a little bit too far in. And besides the transition between my throwing lines in here, I want this much of it to kind of be smooth. All right. I think that's good. I think that's going to feel really good when you actually try to use it. I do. Let me just bring in just a little bit more. Just a wee bit more. You see, it is kind of thin there, but I don't want too much weight in my piece for a drinking vessel. You're going to add weight to it when you add the liquid. And that's quite a lot of liquid in that glass. I can tell you that. That's a lot of beer. Salam. Salem. Hi, Salim. All right. I kind of like these. I kind of do. I'm probably going to knock off here, guys, right about 10 o'clock. So we have roughly 15 minutes worth of throwing time left. Oh, they're beautiful. That's just beautiful. If I do say so myself, that is beautiful. I'll tell you what, guys, let's do some handles because I've got a bunch of pieces that I have to get handles on. And I really want to try this method before I knock off for the night. So I'm going to throw them on a bat. Yeah, I need to change that water really bad. Okay. Where's my pins? There's one of them. There's the other one. All right. So I hope everybody had a really nice Monday. I mean, mine went okay. You know, it's a Monday. Went a lot better since I got home. I can tell you that. I'd rather be doing this all day long. Throwing on a bat. Yes. That's what I'm going to do the handles on because that way I can pull them off and then continue to do other things. Because it's going to be too hard to do the handles any other way. If I did them on here, I had to wait till they dried. I don't want to do that. So now deciding how much clay I need. These bats are roughly 12 inches in diameter. I think I'm going to need my bat mate. My bat mate. I need my bat mate. It just helps to for the bats to stay without wobbling so much. So just put a little bit of bat mate in there. I need more water. I know that. I'm gonna get some more water and put it in that bucket because it's like slurry, guys. It's like pig slop. Let's put a little bit more water in there. There we go. There we go. Now it really looks like chocolate milk. All right. Yeah, that's one thing I don't drink anymore is milk, period. I just don't know. Just don't have the appetite for it anymore. Let's use this bat. Maybe this bat's. I wonder if this bat's in good shape. It seems like he is. All right, he's good enough. All right. Oh, my nose keeps itching. All right. Anybody else having problems with freaking sinuses? Holy crap. All right. Well, what does 1 pound look like? I don't think 1 pound is going to be enough. You know what? Let's put that back in there. I'm going to use one of these. This is 1.5 pounds. So I get it out to here. Let's try it. Let's just try it. All right. There it is. All right. I think this clay got a little bit hard. All right. We'll see how large of a circle I can make out of this clay. I really got this all wonky, don't I? Now let's get you back in shape. There we go. There we go. Let's see, we'll get you there. We'll get you there. So now it's got really to kind of determine how thick I want these to be, or how thick they're gonna have to be in order to be able to pull them. I tell you what, I might need more clay. Kind of looks that way. Because I want to have a good bit. It's just an experiment for me, you know. You got to experiment, fool around a little bit. I think I tried this once before, a long time ago. It's actually probably not a real bad thickness right there. Yeah, that clay has some hard spots in it for sure. Might have to give this a go because I hate to process the handles. Hey, Bullseye Ben, how you doing there, brother? Keep it compressing the clay as you're moving out. Because you got to remember, there's no clay over here. So you're basically taking that clay and sliding it on your bat, kind of like a dough. All right, so that's probably a decent thickness for me to work with. But now what I like to do is try to get my shape, right? So what I'm doing now is this inside here is going to be the inside of the handle. Guys, I haven't tried this in a long time, so. I just thought I had all these handles to pull, and I want to try this and see if this works. I can't remember if it worked or not for me last time, and to be quite honest with you, I like pulling handles. It didn't really matter. I thought maybe this is faster. And remember, I'm keeping these a little thick because I'm going to cut them shorter, and then I'm going to stick them to my mug, and then I'll end up pulling the handle from that point. So I'm still pulling handles, but I'm starting out with kind of a piece like you would get from an extruder. That's kind of what I'm getting at there. I'm good. About to eat dinner with the fam. Making sure to drop a like. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, buddy. I had nearly 3,000 people yesterday, which was pretty amazing. I haven't had those kind of numbers in a long time. So that was pretty cool. I was pretty impressed that I got that far with my live yesterday. But it's bound to happen, right? It's bound to get better. And attach them to the pot in a finished handle. Yes. Yes, Adirondack. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm thinking this will work out pretty good. So what I'm doing is I'm shaping the top part of my handle. And I'm shaping the inside of the handle here. And I'll probably, once you start pulling, this is just to help me a little bit, to help the process go faster, is what I'm trying to accomplish here. This way I can have this shape a lot faster. So it's thicker than what it's would typically would be, but I'm going to pull them so they'll be thinner. Yeah, for sure, man. I was excited, man. I have this. Love this idea. I could see it working. What I've been doing is after I make my handle black, I drape it over a rolling pin. Yeah, exactly, dude. And then this is kind of what you're doing. So since I threw it in this shape, it's already started that curve. Okay. So we're going to give it a shot. So these are going to dry overnight, and then tomorrow I'll end up putting handles on. And what I probably should do is make a few of these, just so I have enough. And it's probably a good idea to cut this off. Although with these bats, I probably don't have to cut it off. But I think I'm going to try to anyhow. Whew. All right. Whew. Got clay all over me for sure tonight. I do like those Pilsner cups. I like those. I like them. I like them a lot. So, should be able just to run this through. Just like that. I think that'll work out perfect, to be honest with you. Of course, I'm always honest with you guys. So anyhow, that's what I'm going to start with. That's the shape. And you can kind of see the inside shape. It's kind of rounded. So I'll cut these off in a short section and then pull the rest of the handle down on my mug after I attach this. And I'm hoping this actually turns out a lot faster for me. I should have used more clay, and then I probably would have got more handles out of this. But we'll see tomorrow what length I need to work with. But anyhow, that's exactly what I'm thinking. It's going to work out pretty good. And I can refine that shape too as I'm pulling. But at least this gives me a head start, you know? So that's what I'm thinking. We shall see if it works. I think it will, though. I think it'll work. Yep, I see the vision and love it. I may give this a try too. I really like the idea of making a bunch of handles again. Well, hey, give her a shot there, brother. Give it a shot and see how you like it, okay? See how it goes for you. Just keep in mind that when you're trying to pull that over, you're pulling a whole bunch of clay over top of a surface that has no clay. So you need to keep compressing as you're moving your clay out. And be careful. It helps to keep your bat wet or have a little bit of slip on it maybe. But just to keep it moving over and keep compressing as you're moving. And once you get to a good thickness that you want, then start shaping your handle how you want it to be. And like I said, the inside was the inside of my handle, and the outside was the outside of my handle. So just give that a shot and see if it works for you. I'm hoping it saves me time. And if it, I need to start making them that way because I don't have an extruder, which would make my job a lot easier and faster. Because I would do it the same way. I would extrude them out with a larger size and then put them on the mug and then start pulling them from the mug. It makes the process, because right now I'm taking a hunk of clay and is forcing that handle shape out in just a long form, the old way. And so if I can save some time, why, that would be perfect if I could do it that way. Because I'm still pulling the handle. It still looks natural. So, especially pulling off center. Yes. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be, yeah, just keep compressing that clay as you're moving out. Because that's the one thing that's going to be very important. You don't want that clay coming off you don't want to be pulling that clay off the wheel. Keep pushing down. That's probably the biggest key, is keep pushing down as you're moving out. And it should work out pretty good for you, I think. All right. All right, guys. I think that's about it for tonight. Looks like I have 23 likes. Awesome. That makes me happy. 23 thumbs up. That is perfect. Perfect for me. And I tried an old way yesterday and admit gave the handle with a tray. Well, it takes practice, though. I mean, it took me a lot of practice to pull handles, and and I think you still learn something every time you do pull handles. And I gotta say, I mean, I've been doing this for a while now, but I learn something all the time, and so don't ever be afraid of trying something. I don't think that you are either. But I'm just saying, don't ever be scared of it. Just try it. If you're not trying something new, you're sitting still, you know? And just, watch other potters, which I'm sure you do. And sometimes you'll see something that they do and you think, oh, wait a minute. Why haven't I tried that way? And then just start using it, start working at it. You'll never copy somebody. You'll never copy. And that's why I'm not worried about that. I'll never copy somebody else because it's just impossible. It's just impossible. Yeah, have a good evening, Gail. Appreciate you being here. Sabrina, yeah, have a great night, Sabrina. Thank you again for stopping in. Really appreciate you having you here, both you and Gail. And Adirondack stuck around. I appreciate all of you. Oh, let me get out of this seat. All right, guys. I'm gonna here, and thanks again for stopping in and watching me. What I want to say, sharing your time with me as I'm sharing my time with you. And I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I hope you all have a blessed rest of your evening or day, whatever it is for you. And I hope you have the rest of your week is blessed as well. Good night. And we'll see you another day soon. I promise. All right. See you guys.